Is Max Verstappen the victim of a calculated FIA crackdown designed to rein in his dominance? Or has his aggressive driving style finally forced the stewards into action? These questions have been dominating the Formula One world, sparking heated debates among fans, pundits, and drivers alike. But there's an even larger question looming over the sport. Has Formula One reached a tipping point where the outcomes of championships are no longer determined solely by the events on the track, but instead by the decisions of the stewards? If so, are we witnessing the unraveling of Formula One's credibility right before our eyes? The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the climactic conclusion of the 2024 Formula One season, was supposed to be a celebration of everything great about the sport: months of relentless battles, breathtaking overtakes, and unmatched engineering brilliance. Instead, it became a flashpoint for controversy, with Max Verstappen once again at the center. Verstappen, a driver who has come to symbolize both the brilliance and the chaos of modern Formula One, found himself embroiled in yet another incident that has left the F1 world divided. The drama began the instant the lights went out. Starting near the front of the grid, Verstappen wasted no time, immediately going on the offensive. He spotted a gap on the inside of Oscar Piastri's McLaren at Turn 1, a narrow opening that most drivers might have hesitated to exploit. But Verstappen is not most drivers. With his hallmark aggression and precision, he launched his Red Bull into the gap. For a brief moment, it looked like he was about to pull off yet another daring move to add to his growing highlight reel. But Formula One is a sport of fine margins, and this time, the gamble didn't pay off. The gap disappeared almost as quickly as it had appeared, and Verstappen's car collided with Piastri's, sending the Dutchman into a dramatic 360-degree spin. It was a breathtaking moment, but what followed showcased why Verstappen is considered one of the most talented drivers in the history of the sport. With skill and composure, he regained control of his car almost instantly and rejoined the race without losing much time. Piastri, however, wasn't as fortunate. His McLaren limped to the back of the grid, with any hope of a strong finish dashed in an instant. The stewards quickly stepped in, handing Verstappen a 10-second time penalty for causing the collision. Yet, this ruling wasn't just another penalty. It was the spark that reignited a season-long debate about the FIA's handling of penalties, the consistency of their rulings, and whether the governing body is truly fit to manage the complexities of modern Formula One. Verstappen's frustration was palpable. Over the team radio, he didn't hold back, venting his anger in a tone dripping with sarcasm. "Can we get 20 seconds too? Stupid idiots," he snapped, his voice a mix of sarcasm and raw emotion. This was not just about a single penalty. It was about a growing narrative that Verstappen believes has unfairly targeted him throughout the season. The tension between Verstappen and the FIA had been simmering for months, and this incident brought it to a boil. Throughout the year, the stewards have faced accusations of inconsistency, with some infractions seemingly overlooked while others have been met with disproportionately severe penalties. As a driver who thrives on pushing the boundaries and as the sport's most high-profile figure, Verstappen has often found himself at the center of this storm. After the race, Verstappen addressed the media, and his frustration was evident. "I don't understand anything anymore," he admitted, his voice tinged with resignation and irritation. "But it's fine. I'm not going to waste my time getting angry about this stuff." His words hinted at a driver who, despite his immense talent and achievements, is growing increasingly weary of the politics that overshadow the sport. However, Verstappen showed a different side when discussing his relationship with Piastri. "I've already apologized to Oscar," he said, emphasizing his respect for the young driver. "It's not the kind of thing you want to happen, especially not with him. He's a great guy." This candid apology was not just about the crash. It was an effort to ensure that their mutual respect remained intact, both personally and professionally. The crash at Turn 1 has ignited widespread debate among fans and analysts. Was Verstappen's move reckless, or was it simply a case of hard racing gone wrong? And more importantly, was the 10-second penalty justified? Verstappen himself didn't shy away from taking responsibility for the incident. "The launch was good. I saw a gap, and I went for it," he admitted. "But I quickly realized it was closing. I tried to back out, but it was too late. We clipped. That's on me." Still, Verstappen couldn't resist taking another jab at the stewards. Honestly, I was expecting maybe 20 seconds or a stop-and-go penalty, he quipped, his sarcasm barely concealed. His frustration was not unwarranted, as the penalty had significant implications for his championship ambitions. In addition to the time penalty, Verstappen was given 2 penalty points on his super license, bringing his total to 8. For context, a driver who accumulates 12 points within a 12-month period faces an automatic one-race ban. With only 4 points separating him from this threshold, Verstappen now faces heightened stakes as he looks ahead to the 2025 season. When asked about the possibility of reaching 12 points, Verstappen responded with characteristic wit. "Maybe I'll hit 12 when the baby is born," he joked, referencing the news that he and his partner Kelly Piquet are expecting their first child. While the comment was lighthearted, it raised an intriguing possibility. Could Verstappen strategically align a potential race ban with his paternity leave? Or was this simply his way of deflecting attention from a weekend that didn't go his way? Beyond Verstappen's personal frustrations, this incident has reignited a broader conversation about the FIA's role in Formula One. Are the stewards applying the rules fairly, or are they stifling the sport's most thrilling drivers in the name of control? Verstappen's case is just one example in a season filled with questionable decisions. The debate over the FIA's handling of penalties shows no signs of fading away anytime soon. As Verstappen heads into the off-season, he has much to contemplate. The impending arrival of his first child marks a joyful milestone in his life, but the shadow of his 8 penalty points looms large. With tensions between drivers and the FIA at an all-time high, the 2025 season promises to be one of the most contentious in recent memory. So, what's your perspective? Is Max Verstappen being unfairly targeted by the FIA, or is he simply dealing with the consequences of his aggressive driving style? And the even bigger question: if the FIA continues to make inconsistent decisions, could Formula One lose the trust of its fans and drivers? Let us know your thoughts, because this debate isn't just about one race or one driver. It's about the future of Formula One itself.